Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel. In the last video we have seen use state hook, and we have also created one counter application with which we can increment or decrement the value of this counter variable dynamically. And in today's video we're going to see the next hook, that is useEffect hook. Before reading this, let's understand the syntax and the snippet of useEffect hook. Firstly, I will import this useEffect hook at the top, okay, and then if I simply write useEffect, this one will get the structure. How you will get it? Just simply write useEffect because of the extension that we have downloaded before. I'll select this, okay, you just remove this thing and you will get this snippet, okay. Now the useEffect hook has two arguments. The first is a function and the second is a dependency array. What is dependency array? I'll tell you. First is the function. What is this function? Let's now read the description. So useEffect hook is used to trigger certain functionality on change of its dependency. Okay, so basically if I want to perform certain functionality on the change of my dependencies, then we will use the useEffect hook. Okay, I know it is still confusing to you, but just wait for a second. Okay, so in this dependency array, what I will do is I can put any state variable or any prop. Okay, let's say we have created this counter state variable last time. Okay, I'll simply write counter here, and now in this I'll write console.log. Let's say useEffect triggered. Okay, this statement I'm writing here. I'll save this code. Now I'll open the application. It's showing some error. Cannot access counter before initialization. 1 second. Okay, so we have to just cut this code from here and I'll paste it after this, or after this I'll paste. Okay, let me just format the document a little bit. Okay, so now we have saved this code. We'll open the application, and in the application we will open the console. So now when we have opened the console, what we can see is this statement, that is useEffect triggered, right? Because the code will execute from top to bottom. So for the first time when the code will execute, this statement will execute, right? Because useEffect hook will definitely run for the first render. Second render is possible only when there is a change in the dependency. That means whenever there will be any change in the counter state variable, then this useEffect hook will trigger. Okay, when this will change, then we will call this set function, because with the help of this set counter function only we are going to change this counter variable. Okay, so how it will change? So if I click on the plus button, you can see it is executing again and again. In the console you can see even if I click on this minus button, still it is executed. So you can see whenever there is a change in the dependency, then the useEffect hook is triggered. And the dependency can be anything. It can be a state variable also, or a prop also. Now let's see the next case for it. What if I just remove this dependency? If I keep it empty, this array empty, then let's see what happens. Now if I open the layout and click on any of the button, so I'm clicking on negative button, it is being decrementing, but I can't see any console statement here. You can see even if I click it again, you can see there's no change in the console layout because we are not getting any console statement. This means that if I keep this array as empty, I'm not going to execute the useEffect hook again, right? So this useEffect hook will just render for the first time. After that it will not run, right? The third case is, what if I just keep it, I'll remove this array, then what will happen? If I save it and if I again start clicking on this button, you can see again the useEffect hook triggered. We are getting this message again, right? I'm clicking here, I'm getting the message again and again, right? Then you might be thinking that what's the difference then? Because when we were putting counter, then also we were getting the same output, and by putting no argument also we're getting the same output. The main crux is, what if I just create one more state variable? Okay, let's create one more state variable. Let's say I will name it as 1. Okay, I'll just create one variable here again, and let's name it as count. Okay, I'll name it as count. Now its value I will display here, but before that we have to create that variable. I'll create a variable from here. We'll copy this out and we will paste it here, and we'll name it as count. Okay, now we will display, let's just make it as 5, and we will change it to count. Okay, now let's say for the I'll change the value of this count using this restart button. Okay, in the restart function what we will do is we'll change the set count to count plus 5. Okay, now if I save it, and now if I open the layout, refresh it, okay, so now we have two variables, one is count and another is count. So if I'm clicking on this plus button, then you can see useEffect hook is triggered. Similarly for the minus button also it is triggered, right? But what if I just click on the restart button, then also it will trigger. Okay, so from here we can conclude that when we don't pass any second argument to the useEffect hook, this functionality will triggered for every state change and every prop change. Okay, and we have two state variables here, one is counter and count. So if either of them changes, this functionality will execute. Okay, so we have seen the three cases. The first is when we pass the dependency array in which we pass the state variable. Okay, second case was when we kept it empty. When we kept it empty, it means that it will run only for the first time. Okay, and if we don't put anything, then it means it will run for every state change and every prop change, right? So yeah, here we come to the end of this video. In the next video we'll see another hook, that is useRef hook, right? So if you have any doubts, just ask me in the comment section. I will be very happy to help, right? So yeah, that's all for today, and I hope to see you in the next video. But before that, do subscribe my channel and hit on the bell icon for more such updates. Thank you.